When it comes to Syria, do not read the Obama playbook. This is the Obama playbook. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. This is a disaster in the making. All of his military advisors have said we need to leave troops in Syria to work with the Kurds, calm down the conflict between Turkey and the Kurdish fighters who have helped us, make sure that Raqqa does not fall back into the hands of ISIL.
Big warning now. Senator Lindsey Graham telling President Trump not to pull out of Syria too early. This after the administration freezing more than $200 million in promised aid to help rebuild that country. Jack Keane, retired four-star general, chairman of the Institute Study of War, and a Fox News strategic analyst. How you doing, General? Good morning.
Good morning,
to
Bill.
you. I know you don't like this suggestion, and part of your commentary goes like this. How we end a war is more important than how we begin it. What do you think's happening here?
Well, first of all, I think freezing the money is a good decision because the Saudis were supposed to ante up $4 billion to help with the recovery in Syria. They haven't anteed up a dime. So the president wants to hold back until the Sunnis do what they're supposed to do, the Sunni Arabs. I think that makes some sense. But in terms of pulling out the troops, I mean, we've learned this lesson before. It's not sufficient just to win the conflict or win the war. You got to win the peace as well, Bill. What happened in Iraq is Bush won the war against the al-Qaeda in Iraq, and Obama lost the peace when he pulled the troops out. He did the same thing in Libya. We deposed Gaddafi. New government comes in, needs help to put down the radicals. We say no, and the radicals take down the government. We lost the peace there as well. What we need to do here is there's 3,000 fighters, ISIS fighters, Bill, still in Syria and Iraq, and the leaders of ISIS are in the southeastern part of Syria. We got to clean that up.
Why don't you just take them out? I mean, you have been an advocate of taking out ISIS in eastern Syria for 4 years.
Yes.
I mean, why are they still there?
We took them out in northeastern Syria, in Raqqa, where the caliphate was, where the territory was. And that was great work, and my hat's off to everybody that did that. But we need to finish it. We need to clean it out. If we don't, if we pull the troops out, it's almost a certainty, Bill, that ISIS will reemerge. And the results of that reemergence, their barbarism on the move again, will own that. And that would be an absolute tragedy.
So you are against removing the 3,000 American forces, mostly special op. You think the $200 million price tag right now about the aid, perhaps it's a negotiating ploy to get Saudi Arabia and others to pony up. But Sarah Sanders was asked just an hour ago about your position from the White House and said this, sir.
That's why he was so strong on pushing people to give more in the NATO process and making sure that the United States wasn't carrying the water for everybody. Look, we want to be involved, we want to help, but at the same time, we want other people to step up and put a little skin in the game, and that's what the president's talking about.
Well, your reaction on that, General?
Well, I agree with that, but I don't believe we should pull the troops out. The other thing is, if we pull the troops out, we de facto just turn Syria over to the Russians, along with the Iranians and the Hezbollah. And it's the Iranians and the Hezbollah who are constructing right now a military buildup in Syria against Israel. And that means on the horizon there's potential war with Israel and the Hezbollah and Lebanon. That's the road we're heading. And the other thing I think implies here, last summer, the president made an historic visit to Saudi Arabia. 55 leaders were present. And he said this, a paraphrase of his comments: I will stand with you against the Iranians, the #1 strategic threat in the region, and I will assist you to drive out the violent extremists where the Middle East is the breeding ground for it. Pulling out of Syria is going in the opposite direction. We just renewed the relationship with the Sunnis. It was Obama who abandoned the Sunnis for a relationship with Iran. This would be a step, in my judgment, in the wrong direction. Let me add one other thing.
We kept troops in Bosnia for 10 years. I think a lot of people will not even be aware of that. But you think of the countless examples of Somalia, Libya, Iraq, and Vietnam where those decisions were made to get out early, and I know that you think militarily that's the wrong move. Last word on all that, General.
Yeah, well, those are examples of places where we pulled out early, where we stayed in Germany, in Japan, in Italy, post-World War II, in Korea, post-Korean War. And as you noted, in Bosnia-Herzegovina, that situation became stabilized. They recovered properly. I'm not talking about nation building in Syria yet. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we need to have stability, and they need to have some recovery taking place, and we don't want ISIS to come back.
Thank you, sir, for your time. Jack Keane, come on back, okay?
Okay.
Thank
Good talking to you, Bill.
You bet.